Hi guys, so I'm doing a video for you guys today, and the video that I'm actually going to do is the perfect palette tag. This is one that I've wanted to do for a while, but I just didn't do it. And of course, no one tagged me in this video, but I wanted to do it for you guys because I think that we love our palettes for so many different reasons. We have some that we use on an everyday basis, some that we just bought and that are kind of just sitting back there and we're like, why did I buy this? I have a few of those. So today I'm actually going to be just sitting down here talking to you, doing this tag basically, and showing you guys my favorite palette. One is best packaging, and for best packaging that would have to go to the Urban Decay Naked palettes. And I say palettes because, as you guys know, the Naked 3 is also out, which is kind of like in this hard, nice kind of tin packaging like this. But I really do like the ones that actually come in the tins like this, because I feel that they are just the most travel friendly, meaning that you can take these with you and you don't necessarily have to worry about them breaking or anything like that. And you know that they're just nice and secure in these packages. So this would definitely be one of the ones that I would say has the best package. Number 2, best color payoff. This is actually again going to go to the Urban Decay palettes. I really don't think you can go wrong with Urban Decay. I absolutely love their palettes. This one, the first one, you guys know I wasn't really too thrilled about this one, but I have been using it. As you guys know, I like more of the pinky shades in this palette, but it's a beautiful, beautiful palette. But I just have my favorite shades that I like to use out of it. But these give you just the best color payoff, I think, of any palette that's out there on the market. What I've actually noticed with the Urban Decay ones is that they're all of their shadows are really nice, and they're really pigmented, and they're creamy, and you can get ones with satin finish, some with the more of the sparkles. I mean, it's just so many different things that you can get from them, and the shadows absolutely look amazing, and they are just long-lasting, really good quality. Versatile palette, which would actually be my Lorac Pro. And I love this palette because it is so versatile, and I'm sure everyone has seen it like a dozen times because it's been everywhere. But I absolutely love this palette because it has your top row is full of matte shades, and then your bottom row is full of your shimmers and sparkles, and it's just, I absolutely love it. And you guys can tell I've been making my little dividends in there. But I love this palette. It is just so versatile. You can do so many different looks with it. You can do dark looks. You can do lighter looks. You can do a completely matte look. Is one of the reasons why I absolutely love this palette. And this is one that I would really run out and rebuy if need be, because I just love it that much. If I was to lose this palette, I would definitely go out and buy a backup. For travel. Best for travel for me, I like taking, it depends on where I'm going. If I'm going out of town for maybe a couple of days, then I'll probably tend to take something really small. So I'll probably take the Urban Decay Naked Basics, just because it's really just so small, and you have just a couple of main shadows in there that you can use. And basically you're just going out of town for a couple days, so you might not want to go really dramatic, which I don't wear any dramatic looks anyway. But you know, if you just want a little something to take with you, you know, on some days that you feel like actually putting makeup on if you're going out of town, then I would definitely select the Urban Decay Naked Basic. For travel is the Lorac Pro. Now, even though it is in really kind of a cardboardy, kind of rubbery feeling packaging, I do like this one because it's so slender that it's just really nice and really sleek to put in whatever you're packing. So that's one thing that I definitely like about it, is how sleek it is, and you have so many different shadows to do so many different looks. So it just makes this also the perfect palette to travel. Now, I have 3 palettes that I bought, and I regret buying them, and I believe actually 4. And the reason why I bought these is because, I don't know, I think for 2 of them, I think I was a sucker for the packaging, and that's probably the reason why I don't use them. And then one, I thought I was getting a really great deal, which I just don't use it. It's one of the palettes that I just don't use. About is the Smashbox one, and this is the Masterclass palette. This was the first Masterclass palette that they came out with, and look at this. Really beautiful. I'm going to take this off because it does have a glare. Beautiful shadows, right? But guys, how many of these shadows do you think I've used? You can see the ones that I actually put a dent into. So I really haven't used this, which is quite disappointing. I don't know. It looked pretty in the store and I thought, yeah, this would definitely work. But I really haven't used it that much. And then the next side over here has my shadow, well, blushes and stuff like that. Yeah. And gel liners and then highlighters and lip glosses. I don't use this palette. It would be perfect for travel, but I just don't tend to use this palette. This is one that I hardly ever reach for. Matter of fact, I think I forgot I had it until I was looking for the other palette that I don't use, which is the Urban Decay Naked palette. This is one that, even though, like I said, they have really great shadows and it's probably the prettiest packaging that I've seen. I'm going to open this up for you guys. So this is what that looks like. So it has a mirror, and then you have the little butterflies, and it gives you cards. And then you go down here and you slide this out, and you have all of this stuff down here as well. So you have all these shadows. They're just not colors that I would use on an everyday basis, and I just really don't use them. So this is a palette that I definitely regret buying. I think one of the reasons why I don't use it is because it's so bulky that it's not something that I would necessarily want to take with me. And then it's just the shadows, they really don't have a blending shade or transition shade in them. And so that could be another reason why I just don't really tend to use it. This one is the Anastasia palette, that a lot of people talked about and loved. I think this is the Catwalk palette. I'm not a fan of this palette, even though the colors are really, really pretty. I'm not much of a fan of it. I wish I was. It's just, I'm not a fan. That's basically all I can say, is I'm not a fan. And then the next palette that I have is the Rockstar palette, and this is by the Balm. And these, again, are really pretty shadows, but I hardly ever use any of these colors. They don't look as good as they do in this little pan thing. I'm trying to figure out what she's doing. Not thrilled with this palette at all. The only thing, I did like the highlight, which is pretty much the highlight that I already have. I think it's Mary Luminizer. The blush is really pretty, but I pretty much think that's like Frat Boy or something like that. And then at the very bottom, it actually had lip glosses and so forth. I'm not using this palette. You guys can look at it and see. I think I might have used it one time and that was it. So that's definitely another one of those palettes that I regret buying. Names. For best color names, where is this palette? I would actually have to say the Nude Tude in my collection. I know a lot of you were saying like Too Faced It was the one that you loved, because Too Faced It palettes, they really do have some really pretty names, but this one, I don't own it, so I couldn't show it to you guys. But if I did own it, I would probably agree with everyone else. But since I do own the Nude Tude, this one worked for me. I think the names on this one is just really pretty, and it just, well, not so much pretty, but the names describe your moods. And to me, when you can put a look together that describes your mood, you know, like sultry and sexy and schizo, and you can put a look together using the different moods or whatever mood that you're in or whatever, or personality that you have that day, this is the perfect palette for that. And I think the colors in this palette are so pretty, and you can definitely do some more of your lighter looks over here on this end, and then you can go down here and smoke it out a little bit, or you could just do an overall neutral look. I absolutely love this palette. As you can see, it's been very loved by me, and it's one of my favorite palettes, definitely of all time. It says the least used. The least used, again, I'm going to have to go back to the, whoops, since I'm losing everything. My least used palette would have to be my Smashbox Masterclass palette. This is the one that I use absolutely the least. I wish it wasn't, but it is. But it's a really nice palette, but I just don't tend to reach for it, and I don't know why. And it's, to be honest with you, it wasn't even in the drawer with the rest of my palettes, which is really crazy to me. This is just something that I don't tend to reach for. Smashbox makes great shadows and everything. There's nothing wrong with the quality of it. I just don't tend to reach for this, and I don't know why. Most used, most loved, Desert Island. My most used palette, I think, of all of these, that would be the one I would take on a desert island, would be the Lorac Pro palette. Just because, like I said, you get so many different shadows out of it, and it's just a very versatile palette. You can do many different looks. Not that it's going to matter anyway on a desert island, but this would definitely be the palette that I would take with me. If I was trapped on a desert island and maybe one day wanted to meet a Prince Charming on that desert island, then this would definitely be the palette that I would take with me, because I love the shadows. Not that you'd be worried about looking good anyway on a desert island, but yeah. So anyway, that completes the tag video, you guys. I tag all of you, and I will also have a list down below of the people that I also tagged for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the very next video. Stay beautiful.